Abisha for da mo asepa some of the ne da United Television na ma twen so me adan ye ho akwaba said ye come bo mama ne no ye ba be ka Ghana ye nso ya ho oden ne ye modern mo si ye gina ye na so say ya nso ye betumi anya vaccine ni bi wa ha na ansa na no ma me madofo happy birthday na fe ye ne doctor Emonkomo enti happy birthday nkoma president Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry Ura Clement Osei Amoakon if national executives any council any management ni ejmaifo ni nyina eho ye ma happy birthday Penny Clement Osamuakon nyame enhyiraw na onhyiraw nsa no ejuma na onye okese na makọ Chamber of Commerce die na Apia Danka also the first nana won kwaso anopei mema wo achem happy birthday in advance to my sweeter sisters or sister Mrs. Sylvia Nti Asare Kwache of Westmore Restaurant. Tomorrow is your birthday. May you start the day counting your blessings from your brother, Dr. Ukubuateng of the Russian Embassy here in Ghana. Na no pay the yenda Amen Scientific Heba and in the Alternative Medical Hospital as say Amen ba ye will be a nya hotom na will be a nya yareshepa. Intimate say ade bi hawa ko Amen. Yes, I want so dear, Amen by Ubi Abashenichi. Also call Amen, Nakojoba, Wonam scientific, herba, homeopathy, naturopathy, any quanfophobia, so better say, Ubinya Ayarishe, Dr. Fonenimti, O Nipa daje. No, I am so yes, say, na obre and mum, Okoha Bimus ampa. Wako asipiti. Fewomu 020-722-9505 and 0244-227192. Over 17 branches of Ghana. Oncho branch no dia ebenwo na onso akwaji wayare hwe. Aw ene mame ya edusan pokia. Name ene ye mi name na woda. Ti mame ya edusan pokia itai fro Queen 1. O na oye mayap mode ene Queen Beauty Studio what danceman era enti danceman control enti mayap mode ena Queen Beauty Studio owner I from mame ya edusapokia Queen 1 ye ma awoda pa ye ma ochinkwa onyame hiraw na onye okese efi me kwadwo me PC kwadwo amoaten eho anopei ye busa kosa ye nya vaccines ni bi amanfo de omu de abadwa so ebi su gusu ye omu de mu hwehwemu ewiase pere obi e pene de anya na eja wo de abone nkrofo ho ban Ghana de kra mpo de ye de astra iba ya amanfo kasa bebre musumu nya nya ebi si na se yeso ye scientist wa pa Ghana so de nkrofo ni made o enye na space papa e kra na sa papa waba Ghana ya wo hedi ensie amanfo tu kwa na be se Ghana for wo places omo aben nti ha wo se nya science bi ana ye ntimi fa help se nya vaccine wo se etumi de ti ye bisa na ene de Dr. Kwadwo Asamoah Kusi wa ha wo ye doctor osan ye senior research fellow owo no Gucci Memorial Institute omo anu omo bua ye wo san hwehwemu yi mu nti esere omo se da ben ye so ye vaccine beba doc good morning.
Good morning.
Na wo te sen.
Me ho ye pa.
No Gucci fo ho te sen.
Obia ho ye.
Ye mamomoni adwuma. Ye mamomoni adwuma. Na da ben ye benya vaccine wo Ghana.
Say ye be vaccine. Eno de America kra beba ansa na yetumi eduru ho.
Okay.
If you say ye share structures na wo ho sisi ana ye start ye kra.
Oh, okay.
Also, you're building structures, physical structures, human capacity. There is something on the ground, but you be here, say you be building more. Now, if you have a plan of sustenance, say, and you say you started BB gidi you say vaccines. Now, if you be do baby granny into me for shame. Idea just why your investment over time.
Okay.
Yeah, they are starting now. I say, Monsieur, we into no.
Ghana for no we yan ye vaccine and then ye mfa ye helps in your vaccine no. Ye nim ye keka.
But my main chere bibi ase. We share vaccines here for COVID in kwa.
Yes, COVID.
On COVID in kwa. We share vaccines here by ni na Wote AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, na ye boboko Johnson and Johnson.
And Pfizer and BioNTech
and BioNTech. Nini na ye pharmaceutical companies.
Okay.
Nini na ye private companies. The reason is that vaccine production and small business. Okay. Even government would not want to invest in it. Kappa. And a high risk business because we bet me start ABR 10 different products. Bakope nebi. Nti no Emma ne cost ro so you are vaccine.
In first also be cost ro.
In first one so be cost ro. Say nti na a private business no na we no see $50 na me dey amusement me nya me first one na ne sa na wa ye no.
Okay.
Nti vaccine development process ne ye ade a enye bibia I taking it lightly. It require investment over a long time.
Okay.
Mabima one other example. A far malaria vaccine a friend RTSS and no maybe phase 3 trials are almost as I tested WHO say on person munya extra data. And they say Ghana, Uganda and Kenya a further trying of it and testing of it. Who first have vaccine the development started in 1987 by the US military. As at now 2015 the first sort of approval. But at some point they handed over to a company called GSK. Even the US government would not be in a position to carry this forward. But the NSA vaccine development process different stages. Scientists, universities, research institutions will roll out play. And now pharmaceutical companies will roll out play. Yes, our partnership ni. Now, as a scientist, develop a vaccine a very complex and idea we crowd in your time out there because we do academic work need to China as a mere vaccine. What work retirement.
Wow. But we almost to me developing a quick
way was very quick.
Yeah.
Arabia maybe Africa. Nisike vaccines no because we be am person nisika but we no more west ni start wu kese no
affect your
more sika shame vaccines AstraZeneca they say UK government e sika bebre shame say ebeko fast and omo wie so masan ato nya say e de che omo kra masan akoto omo an omo fund research no and omo masan akoto vaccine it require a lot of investment and now say we brace ourselves up if we really want to do this capacity be or we need to build a lot more, but a lot of capital investment.
More crash for any day, more manyo for into Mokamo no cre, na Mokamo baby, na China will be a mesopa. Na inti say a banner say ye boa, say UK for boa AstraZeneca for a buying to me more, na say a could be to me more private pharmaceutical company be Ghana. And I to say ye help said ye meaning so ye herbalist. Now so a month for can say Ghana ye one habama ukai say Madagascar konya o mudie bi no a no mo no say ye kra one ama nansen krofo ha mamponfo ne pa say na ye di nura begu nhwehwe manke bi betumi atu yade yase na Africa de ye nye hu ni na ni nyina ye twan abrofo no yentumi nye hu bibia fi say amafo adwen o mo say o Africa ye ne empese be develop but said ya wo kan so enye betesa
yeah yo me da say what can helps ni dey no go into different drugs
okay
and yeah
anti yentumi va helps ni nye vaccine
and the drugs the difference one major difference between drugs and vaccines ni say drugs no wo the money pa no time a yare no nensa ne yare
yeah
but vaccines no the ma obi a on yare say na bebo no by no on yare into vaccines ni e friend biologicals and no ye the ma na build the immune system no up but drugs ye adia we yare no na wafa na abre yare na say into you know you two different things
okay
minim say na okay Center for Plant Medicine Research omo ye works bebre ebi ho omo ni yen ana omo ni West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens
okay
what
before
nti sa nyuma no bebre koso but no ye very different from vaccines
nti vaccine dey dog ko si enkoda o ye ntu ya dwum ni dey ya
metie ha ka say ya no minim say ekuo bi wo ho a omo tu omo ho esi ho omo ni aban ye omo di nkita ho say ye benya such facilities e wo Ghana ha The process is ongoing. In the with time, but there is already plans in place to have partnerships now to be established.
Ghana.
Oh, great. Mikaya 2017, 2018. Now one big pharmaceutical giant. Now some best set up. Mikaya say almost sign agreements. Be na me who DSR agreements. Na could be a friend Merck.
Okay.
Now Merck be set up as a vaccine production hub and a drug production hub. Minim maybe those discussions no drew. But that would have been the first one. Mate.
My own same training, Mama was
assignment.
My own same training, Mama assignment. Yeah, come vaccine. Yeah, share. Yeah, Kenya. Said your kind. Yeah, share COVID. Na Nadia, me share updates. Na yeah, come a kakrao. So take akra. New cases near 243. And active cases 3,701. Aba from yaya de vaccine no betumi a factor na
vaccines need the me fan say started 2nd March be 2 weeks and too short a time for vaccine say be ejuma vaccine no answer we start here immune responses to it na be 3-4 weeks aba and na say when your second shot in this one sir immune system need me ejina so enti me fa we and share vaccine but they make me I can say yenya upsurge no because of Christmas no any before then the social events and as a for prevention protocols na say and now more observing kakrama enti eno no and a bit me here ade a bit me dey explain we now but vaccines in the answer be nya you be huni effect na be take America kakra
nti en fa ne be say amanfo take your second shot in echi say na e can like May mu
ho baby no na obe start hu real effect and I say nipa dodo na say na ye can be 60 to 70% of the population so to me age vaccine na san na obe say we start hu because I say ABI nipa 10 e wa ha say me ubi anya vaccinated me nya infection na betumi dey amount usu betumi dey amount the original one chain na esa na spread I say who you vaccinated so me nya vaccinated cry infection no the risk of me dey be ma on swat cry nti unya na wenya the other house no so untumi pass on man and the breaky transmission no nti chi say amount for dodo na agi vaccine no na yenya a good proportion and sana you best start the real effect of vaccine.
When you bedroom me mu de na che senka ebetimi aka say COVID free country ana.
No ne kan be din if you say yare we yare akọ wi ase bebia. Nti yen yetumi boy ho ban kra na ye ma ase ye brasia. Was ye check ye land ports, ye airports ni na no ye pa because obi betumi dey free another country about easily. I mean they say ye airports ni dey as ye yade. But ye land port no eno no ye baby a was ye still a hwe hoyi because as enkofo kobasa
ye hope say vaccine be boa ye you know and elsewhere no ye ti say vaccine e bi monya adverse effect ene de FDA anti me ni team ma me ati so Ghana de ne de awo kakra uhuru kakra mitipa me kakra come de me fifiri kakra na mema no so almost rutu e man no we don't know what they are doing dog seriously so na Ghanaian time say the buy but elsewhere almost say e serious e be crash clotting of blood ni ade e be so say omunkrofo wu nti o ma suspend ni ade wo dwen ho say wo say other countries say ye withdraw e be ma vaccine ne yade ne kon no akoyiyi amaye
and the ebeha kakra and I share so far I'm 18 countries mostly in Europe but pen what Asia almost are suspending and yes I must stop it I must suspend it to do investigations and let me say by a China European Medicines Agency the omo nhwehwe mu no mo ye no ebetu edi o share countries no ma yes ani na it is coming from the governments and yet almost scientists no. In fact, the scientists are actually against vaccinations.
No.
Because I say a bit creative impression be later on in people's mind. I remember omo sign come back when they even resume. That is a big worry. Blood clots no more can me far AstraZeneca vaccine so far around the world about almost 17 million doses near Diama.
Okay.
Less than 50 of these issues of these blood
50?
clots. Less than 50.
Out of 17 million.
So far, yes.
When you say go back say form.
Now
clot, does it lead to death?
Depending on where it happens. The back lungs more and are dangerous. Mostly they occur in the legs.
Okay.
Okay, well, legs in the deep veins. Some friend deep vein thrombosis. But so far, I think the number who have died from this will be less than 5. But the major way in say we share within the general population, even without vaccination now. In Europe, no, more estimated say 1 to 2 people out of every 1,000 in a condition, even without the vaccination.
So vaccine ni home pa. And clotting of blood, they all kind of scientific idea.
1 to 2 people in in 1,000 people.
Okay.
We share numbers here, way in excess of 1 in 100,000. So, there are a lot of scientists, and even there is a body known that is supposed to be interested in deep vein thrombosis, blood clots. Omo ya association, and as omo for me, omo share send any trends. Omo cry I say vaccination, but it's just the government's responding to fear and
pressure.
Responding to pressure from the masses. And Emma omo in Nigeria, because there are still a few countries that are still going on with their vaccination in the West.
Okay.
There's no cause for concern. Your first blood clotting issue here. There are what you call risk factors. We are obese and are overweight, a risk factor. We are over 60 years, a risk factor. Even without anything, with me, clotting.
Okay.
It clears, especially the ones in the legs, would clear by themselves. Sometimes you don't even feel any symptoms. We would drive it for too long, and now what baby back for too long. You need to make us say minor clots in your veins. With time you need clear.
Vaccine clear clots in the feel.
And no clear. Your body has ways of clearing it. In some instances, we have treatment to clear it. But especially when you have the pulmonary one, they are called lungs. And no, bet me I'm breathing as easy. It's dangerous. But in the legs, there is treatment. And idea is yes a vaccine no idea but idea is in the general population and yet bibia I was yema nija ebra say my vaccine e bet me ayehu but you can say so far no data na wo ho no and say vaccine no na e no ba but it is still good omo suspending ni na no almost a temporary suspension for about 2 weeks no mo ntwema omo ye nhwehwemu nti ba ye china no European body bi de omo hwehwemu no result ne betudwa na omo abeka what they found whether it is really the vaccine or not. Yes.
Yeah, the after 600,000 them say other doses kakra bi sign beka ho na ye targeted 2 million. Sa 2 million ni say ye nya ni nyina fi vaccine hye ni mu a ye alternative ways I dibenya ne aka ho ana.
Okay, in fact the target is actually 20 million.
20 million. Thank you. Yeah, 20 million.
That is the adult population above 16 or 18 years. The COVAX facility, and I suspect it's supposed to provide up to 3 million doses. But Sena Abainika and Omankasa and so your bilateral agreement additional vaccines.
Okay.
Even the AstraZeneca one, I think, and also the Russian Sputnik vaccine. No? Beside the COVAX, because COVAX facility is not providing 20 million in Nano. Provided, I think, about 3 million for free. Now the Abai has to buy. And meaning say discussions for these have way gone on and more higher discussions long in advance.
Okay.
There's a timetable. I think Ghana Health Service from time to time about the timetable for receiving these vaccines. if everything goes well, and now omunya sika omudi better there, I think we are on a good track.
I see. Now, say a ban is 20 million doses. Yentimi enya ni nyina. What will happen?
And you're not assembly at yen. Then it be depending on everybody else getting the vaccines and bringing transmission down, because the whole idea of vaccination, then they say, unya infection no kra wunyare I been here so bako hospital nti TRA ni so kra ema unya infection, even if unya infection na emma symptoms na sisi a obinya COVID-19 na o feeling no.
Okay.
Nti vaccination ni de ho here na I'm hoping say ebeba sumum na de o kenyembem say ibi ani ntimi ndru target of 20 million and no bema a problems kakra. But and American say we are seeing na no country be has to me take it way serious na ni na na transmission ne ba forma that in a way protects all of us and your friend herd immunity no.
Okay.
Dodo na nya vaccine na ema transmission ne conform na afi na ho at oyin
eno ana ye nyina so ye hwehwe fayeko school kakra ye wi ye nhwe se ye betimi akolab se vaccine ye developing is saying
vaccine need development they depend on what type of vaccines. Vaccine bi o ha ufa mwa na opese onye vaccine against no ufa mwa ni nyina na either say we weaken aboan and as a we kun kra now the ama as vaccine. The whole purpose of vaccine ni say me start fi yare say unya infection no ebe to me depending on how fast more now more infected on the multiply no to me ama why yare fast than your immune system can act. It takes about 2, 3, 4 weeks and so now your adaptive immune system now it to me kun yare any pa no and we build it up if in that time no say pathogen now when you ne hu nanu ye shipa no multiply faster onu betimi ama wa yare na bia we wukra ansa na immune system no atake over.
Wow.
Nti enu nti na ye vaccine
no kafre no after first dose and because
no make unya infection na vaccine.
Okay.
Nti vaccine no ye bibia ye de ma wa emma o yare no ba emma wo body no dreams e wonya yare no. So na ama body time so 2, 3, 4 weeks no na wa build this immunity no.
Okay.
Until later unya yare na wa build immunity ni dada and no active fast but say one nya vaccine no na unya yare ni mom first sa amre na immune system ne be build up no say yare ni yade a
na ni edin a
na aka wato ho nti vaccine ni e bibia eti se mo wa na cause yare no but emma yare no and America ni bi wo ha the whole organism maybe also a we ni hu bibi kitu ebi a friend antigen now they are vaccine nti gumu ahoro nti research aye fa we hu no ubehwe se emu de hin se me di organism ni na se me yi ni hu bibi kitu ebi a na me de vaccine e be yi eno ye research ye friend basic research wenya ana we hu de ebitimi aye good vaccine na fe wa start testing wo lab na why testing wo mu ebi wo ha monkeys ebi wo ha rabbits ebi wo ha mice udi we mu be ye agada some basic information
gina basic info adinti na ya mo ye testing no wo mu ti say enkura ene enre titiro
omo ye emwa bi a ye can say omo ye easy to handle one to answer odi bibia beba nipa mu I also make sure say encourse any harm.
Okay.
Until we use a no to test.
Now, money nipa abosiese ana.
Ebi very different. But usually, you know, adia ebekunu is likely to be to make one. Into the omono starting now, I say safe. Into why testing one you know, I won't say safe. Nothing now over nipa. Into one the any friend preclinical testing.
All right.
Now, if you ban nipa muna, a friend of clinical testing. Uban nipa muna, it was 4 phases. Let me see. Usually 3 phases, but you can add a 4th one. First phase, usually you find nipa kakrebi, bear 5 to bear 50, because that's the first time I would demand nipa.
Okay.
2% won fa nipa kakra bi na hwe say safe. And usually the first time we test vaccines in nipa no, won hwe kra say vaccine it means ayare a. Wo hwe say safer. We eno na we hu say safe no. Now work of phase 2. And don't know a few hundreds of people in a year. Until why increasing number?
No TV is so more than yeah more than we clinical testing. And this year will tested clinical testing.
Yeah.
Phase 1 we offer any power for 1 to 40, right? This year will phase 2.
To call phase 2 now, I don't know increasing number ni kakra. But at phase 2 no still our say a safer na. Now if you want to start here say e be ye adwuma nti why we no now if you work of phase 3 that is BBI okay and work of phase 3 phase 3 no again we hear say safer we hear say ye adwuma make immune responses and now we hear say immune responses na protective because we know your immune responses are protective nti we hear nyama 3 we na and usually in thousands of people nti we hear phase 3 no now if you do information na 1 2 3 and menka say every phase no we submit it with document emma regulatory bodies no one share say the okoye won cause harm the okoye scientifically sound until every stage no yes sir but we have phase 3 ni we are na bibia okay now if you apply for approval or licensure or apply for a license say why your vaccine we say your license vaccine ni now start your rollout now if now your friend phase 4 to see Ghana the bit me say we can add a phase 4 to it. Phase 4 near who year phase 1 2 3 na nipa na odi omo highly selective.
Okay.
Nti uno munsa into me for on trials. So we liver problem into me for on into a very selected people near the omo year trials. And now free phase 1 eba phase 3 near relaxing esa niam no kakra but still are very stringent nti we are phase 4 near wo dey man sign no ti see obi no alcohol no be abeje vaccine bi but then since as one never work now we collect this information no as we dey man
now we phase 3 no wa ma obi no alcohol am na phase 4 yi wa ma alcohol abam mo be den so alcohol ni fire nya ne hwe because phase 3 ni mo no wa ma bi amam ti unim ni abe
ye ni sa no because say wo dey your friend confounders wo dey omo different conditions and this we mu ni na ne ka ho a ka say it masks the effects that you are supposed to see because in from phase 2 to phase 3 trials no wo fa group a wo dey vaccine ne be mom no wa fa group a omo wo fa vaccine ne mom no compare so it is one yes selective in omo dey omo testing na at the end no ebia sa eneme yi no ebe ma omo a wo dey vaccine na mom no who difference be between omo ne omo a one for vaccine no it na that selective no who say ejuma but at phase 4 no what started dey man no na fi what started hwe say ebia wo HIV AIDS send a vaccine here wo we send no need phase 4 different post market surveillance and that those are the various stages vaccines ni go through
we the na that TV ni so no won say preclinical testing of 5 to 10 years and then phase 1 3 years phase 2 3 years phase 3 3 years it's just a emredudu say ediansa na wo move to the next stage ana
would the testing now approvals for the next stage
any covid there no e there na special wo ho a eno there afintem pepepe yeah because you can na say on the whole say we develop a vaccine e be take you 15 to 20 years
yes
nti covid there na there na special woman there eni botete eno so kura na je ni hu
okay nti on average it take you almost about 12 years to make a vaccine from scratch to the end that's average 12 years just a be earlier a be to me later covid vaccines no the amana co fast ni say when you are doing testing say na it is in sequence into we no check the result and so no work on next one no check it no work on next one and the man is stretching covid vaccines because of the emergency na newo say na nkofo wu omufa hu nti regulatory bodies no epene so ma omo ye these different phases no in parallel say we cause wa ha no
na we cause wa unti wa man twen say we phase 1 ya twen ya si ya ye results ye hu say ya quality bibia data ni But all your phase 1 or your phase 2.
Inti bi mu ye 1 2 3 ni na in different places. So inti no inti times now ni na are compressed into a very short time.
But anyway, even that one there should be some 3 years.
Way average and I can make me higher or lower than that.
Okay.
But it is also because there's been a lot of money pumped into this. Because your first similar viruses are in 2002 to 2004, the SARS-CoV-1, and Middle East Respiratory Virus, MERS-CoV, in 2012. As at time are way by and any vaccine for because I don't know happen or we see space kakre a small geographical area.
Okay.
And yamfasika and shimbi it says an edisika she we need there now as I know yashi.
Okay.
MERS-CoV the see or Middle East no nipa 100 omunya bibia na imu 34 newu. But affecting nipa bibre. Who share ways see SARS-CoV-2. Nipa 100 bia enya na emu be 5 na ewu nti we swakra but spread it fast nti ama nipa na ewu na doso nti eno na ball westerners ni hu ema omu di sika bebre shame na akọ very fast na nti the difference is regular testing no in sequence we we but because of the emergency no we no my in parallel. So we cost now we cost 2 years now wash your data and now together. There is a risk to it, but the situation called for it. Say and it's paid off. The results are showing. As at now, let me say close to 12, maybe getting to 14 vaccines and APA. Licensing at some level for use in humans.
Okay. Nyamini edana sise ya dena nshasi wa Africa. Kayibe uache.
Say you do baby go no say you do Africa you be fifi ato lorry coins so na ma no we fi ato
but
nyame aboye ho ban
nyame nimne no oye afidi o se wa mayeba dog here that's papa Dr. Kojo Asamoah Kusi senior research fellow Noguchi Memorial Institute of Medical Research and anope ye ne no edi nkomo no wakana sempempin se vaccine develop pa die enye bayira abre wadwo nti yebekọ but ebeche ononya afi na obekra no na pipeline na we are still talking to the scientists. This is the scientist and the scientist says it will take time. No politician oni massage bia massage but we are hoping and praying say one day we will also get there. Na Noguchi fo so yade ba ye ni ate wo monka pa bi ono mo a won hyeda nte wo monka mo ho nso mo bo adwuma wo yare bi enti ehu asesi wo mo koye nhwemu nso eno no ya na ehu si wo mo but covid am ehu se sa Noguchi ama Japan papa wa ya ade nyame fa ne currency nti okwa ye chia team ni nyina ye da mo asema mo ni adwuma ye dan ye ho ye koba pa afi ye bedi Ghana nko wada roma twen ye basisia